kid suspended again and again because of his hairstyle. Let's put up the picture for a mask. This is an update. Daryl George, a Texas student who has been disciplined and kept away from his classroom for months because of his hairstyle. His hairstyle, making it not likely that he will be back to his class anytime soon. Efforts by Daryl George's attorney to ask a judge to pause his punishment by his Houston area school district over his hairstyle, his locks, as well as a civil rights lawsuit he and his family filed in September, remain on hold in federal court. George, 18, returned to in-school suspension at his campus, Barbers Hill High School, once again in Texas. Last week, for now, he will remain in school suspension. Before that, he has spent a month at an off-site disciplinary program as if he did something behaviorally wrong, and that is not the case. They don't like what you're looking at, his expressed cultural hairstyle. George's family has filed a formal complaint with the Texas Education Agency and a federal civil rights lawsuit against Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton, who should be in prison, by the way, along with the school district, alleging they failed to enforce the C.R.O.W.N. Act. The lawsuit is before U.S. District Judge Charles Eskridge. The school district had filed a separate lawsuit in state court asking a judge to clarify whether it's a dress code restriction or dress code restrictions limiting student hair length for boys a violation of the C.R.O.W.N. Act. But George's attorney filed a motion to move the lawsuit to federal court. That separate case is before another Houston federal judge. During Wednesday's court hearing, Eskridge discussed a motion to consolidate the two lawsuits, as well as motions to dismiss the lawsuit against Abbott and Paxton and the school district to move the case to federal court in nearby Galveston. Attorney Allie Booker said she is hoping to argue a motion asking for a temporary injunction that would halt the school district's punishment of George until his case is resolved. But she said she can't do that until Judge Eskridge rules on these other motions first. And that might not happen until early next year. Barbara Hill's policy on student hair was previously challenged in a May 2020 federal lawsuit filed by two other students. Both students withdrew from the high school, but one returned after a federal judge granted a temporary injunction, saying the student showed a substantial likelihood that his rights to free speech and to be free from race discrimination would be violated if not allowed to return to campus. That lawsuit remains pending. So let me explain what you have here. The school knows it is not on solid legal ground, but because there has been no adjudication, they are willing to continue moving forward in an aggressive way where taxpayers will eventually have to pay money, knowing good and damn well a federal judge has already told you what the ruling will be if you keep messing with them. That didn't matter. We're still going to suspend black children, okay? Making sure the good people of your district will pay more money because you will be held liable through the tax system of the institution, all right, of the school. Put them up, Principal Lance Murphy, okay, wrote that George has repeatedly violated the district's, quote, previously communicated standards of conduct, student conduct. And then you got Superintendent Dr. Greg Poole, since 2006, has said the policy is legal and teaches students to conform as a sacrifice benefiting everyone. I mean, they sound like a cult, right? The policy is for conformity, which is going to benefit white people. Everybody. Make everybody feel good here. It's a hell of a thing. Rayvana, these people are literally, let me just break this down. I'm so glad that, you went to law school. So the man is saying, in 2006, it was legal, or 2006, it was legal. 2007, it was legal. Great. It was then deemed illegal later. So what do you do with that? He's still citing the law and the interpretation of the courts prior to today. What in the hell is going on? These folks are involved in education. You would think they could critically think.
It's such an insane argument to make because there were plenty of things that were legal decades ago that have been overturned now, and there is no argument that can be made. I mean, the school has no leg to stand on when it comes to the C.R.O.W.N. Act. This is a clear violation of exactly what the law is meant to protect, and it's gone into effect. They are supposed to be abiding by its standards. The school's argument is essentially that, well, it doesn't say anything about hair length, which is a non-argument. It is a total non-argument because even if the law doesn't say anything specifically about hair length, this is a protected hairstyle under the law. You can't skirt around the spirit of the law simply by saying, well, this specific word is not mentioned anywhere in it, because that's an argument that can also be used by supporters of the law to show that the school is in the wrong. And we covered this story last week, and I said at the beginning that I was sad that we have to keep giving updates to this story because it started out as this, but it's just been shown time and time again that this is just punitive action against this student, targeted harassment of this individual. They are depriving him of an education. They shipped him off to a disciplinary school just to allow him back to sit in school suspension all day long. He's not getting the necessary social interaction that you should be getting in high school. He's not getting the education. He's not getting anything meaningful out of this. And how can the school argue that this is better than just allowing him to freely express himself through his hair? There's no argument to be made, but the unfortunate fact of the matter is he might not even be in school anymore by the time a decision comes down. It would be fortunate to have this ruling on the books for future students, but they should intervene. I mean, this is a clear deprivation of his right to education, what they're doing to him right now. The courts should be intervening. And it seems like they're going to let this be stretched out. It's really sad for this child.
It is. And, at some point, judges will have to hold officials like this in contempt. Mm-hmm. And if they violate the contempt order, take them to jail. I know that seems extreme, but you have to understand what's at stake here. Either we are going to respect the court and respect laws, or we're not. And that's exactly what's being enforced here, or hopefully will be enforced here.